Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, the Other, and today I'm going to be talking about a chain store that's been around a long time, and this, matter of fact, store that's becoming less and less. You're seeing less and less of the stores around. I'm talking about K-Mart, and K-Mart started out as S.S. Kresge, the founder of a company that would become K-Mart, met variety store pioneer Frank Winfield Woolworth while working as a traveling salesman and selling to all 19 of Woolworth's stores at the time. In 1897, Kresge invested $8,000, equivalent to $230,000 in 2017, saved from his job in joint ownership with his friend John McCrory of a five and dime store in Memphis, to which they added another downtown Detroit the following year. They were the first S.S. Kresge stores. After 2 years of partnership, he paid McCrory $3,000, equivalent to $86,400 in 2017, to give up his share of the Memphis store for full ownership of the Detroit store, and formed the Kresge and Wilson Company with his brother-in-law Charles J. Wilson. Yes, there was also stores called McCrory's. I remember that, and their spinoff was G.C. Murphy. That's another chain that was around, and Woolworths. That's another one that's gone. I remember that also. That was kind of like a dime store. So had a candy counter. I remember. Sold all kinds of pound candies. 1912, Kresge incorporated the S.S. Kresge Corporation with 85 stores. The company was first listed on the New York Stock Exchange on May 23, 1918. During World War I, Kresge experimented with raising the limit on prices in his stores to $1, equivalent to $16 in 2017. By 1924, Kresge was worth approximately $375 million, equivalent to $5.24 billion in 2017, and owned real estate of the approximate value of $100 million. Each century growth remained brisk, with 257 stores in 1924, growing to 597 stores operating in 1929. Kresge retired as president in 1925. The Great Depression reduced profitability and resulted in store closings, with the number reduced to 682 in 1940. After the war, shopping patterns changed and many customers moved out of the cities into the suburbs. The Kresge Company followed them and closed and merged many urban stores, so that by 1954 the total number of stores in the U.S. had declined to 216. Under the leadership of Executive Harry Cunningham, S.S. Kresge Corporation opened the first K-Mart store on March 1st, 1962 in Garden City, Michigan, just 4 months before the first Walmart opened. This store is no longer in operation as of March 2017. 18 K-Mart stores opened that year. K-Mart Foods, a now defunct chain of K-Mart supermarkets, opened that decade. Company founder Kresge died on October 18, 1966. Around the time of the opening of the first K-Mart, some poorly performing S.S. Kresge stores were converted to a new Jupiter discount store brand, which was conceived as bare bones deep discount outfit. During the 1970s, K-Mart put a number of competing retailers out of business. Kresge, Jupiter, and K-Mart stores had their main competition from other variety store chains such as Zayre, Ames, Bradley's, Hills, and those operated by MMG McCrory stores. In 1977, S.S. Kresge Corporation changed its name to K-Mart Corporation. 1987, K-Mart sold its remaining Kresge and Jupiter stores in the United States to McCrory stores, and the brands were almost entirely discontinued, although Canadian Kresge and Jupiter stores continued to operate until 1994. K-Mart experimented with co-branding in 1985, when the in-store cafeteria at the store in Canton, Michigan was converted to a Wendy's. Until November 1990, when it was passed by Walmart, K-Mart was the second largest retailer in the U.S. after Sears. During the 1980s, the company's fortunes began to change. Many K-Mart stores were considered to be outdated and in decaying condition. By the late 1980s and into the 1990s, the corporate office shifted much of its focus from the K-Mart stores to other companies it had acquired or created, such as Sports Authority, Builder Square, and Walden Books. The original Blue Night Special, first introduced in 1985, was retired in 1991. The company brought back the Blue Light Special in 2001, but again discontinuing in 2002. The concept was briefly revived in 2005, though K-Mart at that time had no plans to use the concept long term. Blue Light Specials were revived again in 2009 on Saturdays, offering surprise hour-long sales on selected merchandise, but were discontinued again. Blue Light Specials were once again revived in November 2015, so I guess they were kind of undecided about whether they wanted to keep going with the blue light specials or not. Maybe complaints from customers about that said they missed it. But there's more about the decline of K-Mart, and I'm not going to go through all of that. You can read it online on the internet, on Wikipedia. It says it operates in 49 states, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Guam, which houses the largest K-Mart. It also used to operate stores in Canada, Mexico, and Eastern Europe. But the chain purchased Sears for $11 billion in 2005, forming a new corporation under the name Sears Holdings Corporation. The Kmart name was incorporated in 1916, while the first store didn't open its doors until 1962. At its peak in 2000, Kmart operated 2,171 stores, including 105 supercenter locations. For the 2005 fiscal year, under the new company, the Kmart count was at 1,416 with only 55 supercenter locations. Currently, the chain is operating 734 stores with only one supercenter location remaining in Warren, Ohio. The number will decrease further due to the previous announced closings that will take place in 2017. So it's a chain that's it's on decline. I do remember the blue light specials. They announced them, and there was a flashing blue light that would go on, and they would offer a special on some item, and customers would run over to get that special. It would only go on maybe for 15 minutes if I remember right. But I was going to also play some jingles from Kmart that I remember. I found them online. Here's the regular one you would hear on the radio and on television. Let me get this thing cranked up.
Hello.
K-Mart is your savings store, where your dollar buys you more. Save on Kmart.
This is what you would hear each time on the commercials. That song during the 70s, I guess early 80s.
Matchmates, a huge fashion selection, now 1/3 off. New for fall mix and match styles are marked down 1/3 during this great in-season sale. Choose from a beautiful collection of colorful coordinates and save 1/3 during the Matchmate in-season sale through Saturday at Kmart.
Kmart is the saving place.
But that was basically the jingle you would hear for Kmart. There was a longer jingle that I used to hear in Kmart of that same thing, more like a song, and I finally found that as well on YouTube. I'm going to be playing that in a minute. But Kmart was a great place to shop. They had the concession stand, sold popcorn, cotton candy. They had the cafeteria in back. You could have a hamburger, and it was back in late the 70s. I remember the first time going into Kmart in Huntsville, Alabama. It was like I think 1970 when they opened, and I remember going there and then coming back to the United States in 1976 and going to Tyson's Corner, Northern Virginia, Kmart, and it used to be a great place to shop. Great selection of things. They had paint. They had a garden center. They had all kinds of things. But their customer service and in my opinion, and their selection of merchandise just went downhill in the 90s, and stores are continuing to close. Here's the longer version of Kmart. It's like a song. Let me get this thing cranked up.
I don't know about you, but
Yeah, sorry, there's an advertisement. I'm gonna let that thing go.
I know. You're probably thinking to yourself, it's
We all do, working hard so they come true. You can get a helping hand at K-Mart stores, they understand.
K-Mart is your savings store, where your dollar buys you more. They give your dreams a helping hand. At K-Mart stores, they understand.
too, in 1970, hearing on the radio that K-Mart was getting a pharmacy in the store, and that was a big thing as well. I'm going to play this thing again, and I'm going to break it down, because I thought this was a cool song. But let me get this thing started again.
Dreaming dreams, we all do.
Dreaming dreams, we all do.
Working hard so they come true.
Working hard so they come true.
You can get a helping hand at K-Mart.
You can get a helping hand at K-Mart stores. They understand, and then there's the refrain here.
Stores they understand.
K-Mart is your savings store, where your dollar buys you more. They give your dreams a helping hand. At K-Mart stores they understand.
Planning,
Wedding plans, moving up.
life is good, come fill your cup.
Life is good, come fill your cup.
Get satisfaction even more.
Get satisfaction even more at K-Mart. That's your value store.
At K-Mart, that's your value store. K-Mart is your savings store, where your dollar buys you more.
I never heard the longer version on a radio or television commercial. I used to hear that when I was shopping in K-Mart back in the late 70s, early 80s. And I thought that was one of the more cool jingles they've ever come up with. I really didn't understand the words to it when I was in the store, but we go over the PA system. But I listened to it closely and was able to break this thing down. And it was pretty well written and everything, pretty well done. I don't think it got the recognition it deserved, but just a little history on what I remember of K-Mart. And I remember going to one a couple years ago in Dale City, and that one closed down. What I understand, in Northern Virginia, the only one still around is Annandale. That's what I've been told. And remember, like, subscribe. Need a producer, need a partner. As always, thanks for watching.